All right, everyone, welcome back to my channel, All Wings Everything, and I am your cook, Spinelli. In today's video, we're gonna do what I like to call my island-style Caribbean passion wings. Now, you know I used to live in the DR, and Dominicans, they love to eat a lot of fresh fruits. So I found myself eating a lot of fresh fruits while I was living there, mainly mangoes and pineapples. Now, I've never been really a pineapple type of guy, but pineapples they're okay to me. But I found myself really liking mangoes. Mangoes are really good. What I decided to do was I decided to create this sauce that incorporates mangoes and pineapples. So if you are a fan of mangoes and you are a fan of pineapple, then this recipe is for you. So enough of the talking. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. All right, everyone, here are the ingredients we're going to use today for the Caribbean Passion Wings. As you can see, we're going to use some minced garlic. We're going to use flour, onion powder, kosher salt, ground black pepper, some water, some apple cider vinegar, a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple, some paprika, cornstarch, some butter, some mango chunks, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, seasoned salt, and some buttermilk. Now, if you want to, you can definitely use fresh mango if you want to. All right, so this is all you're gonna need to make this recipe a success. So let's move on to the next step. As you can see, I've already measured out all the ingredients that we're gonna use for this recipe. Three parts of this recipe. It's the marinating of the chicken, it's the seasoning of the flour, and then the sauce that we're going to make for this recipe. The first thing we're going to take a look at, we're going to take a look at the chicken. And I have 1.5 cups of buttermilk. And then as you can see, I have this seasoned blend that consists of about a tablespoon of garlic powder, a half a tablespoon of onion powder, a half a tablespoon of kosher salt, a half a teaspoon of ground pepper, a half a teaspoon of paprika. And the next thing we have the chicken coating, which I used about 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of paprika for the seasoned blend, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, a half a tablespoon of seasoned salt, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, and a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. For the sauce, we have 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 3/4 cups of brown sugar, a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapples, a 12-ounce bag of frozen mango chunks, 5 large garlic cloves, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, a half a teaspoon of cayenne red pepper, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. So that's what we're going to use to make this recipe today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to season our chicken and marinate it. We're going to take the seasoning and we're going to sprinkle the seasoning into the 1.5 cups of buttermilk. So make sure you put all your seasoning in the buttermilk. Then you want to stir the seasoning into the buttermilk real good. So continue to stir until it dissolves into the buttermilk. And once you finish stirring, the next thing you want to do is you want to take your buttermilk and pour it over your chicken. It actually should cover your chicken, so all of it should cover your chicken. You want this buttermilk season to cover your chicken. Make sure all the pieces are submerged into the buttermilk. Put a lid over the bowl, and you're gonna let this marinate for 2 to 4 hours, up to 24 hours. I generally let mine marinate 24 hours. All right, so now we're going to start preparing the sauce. Now, the first thing you want to do, melt your butter first. You want to make sure you heat your pan too. Heat your pan prior so it's already, hot when you drop the butter in. As you can see, as soon as my butter hit, it started to melt. So you want to make sure that your pan is hot so the butter can start melting um, as soon as it hits the pan. Once all your butter is melted, the next thing you want to do is you want to take your brown sugar and mix your brown sugar into the butter. And you want to mix it for about a minute. Once you fully mixed your brown sugar, the next thing you want to do is you want to pour your crushed pineapples into the pan. After that, you want to put in your mangoes. Mix your mangoes and pineapple well into the brown sugar mixture, and then add your salt. And after you add your salt, add your apple cider vinegar. Lastly, you want to add your cayenne pepper. And you want to mix this for about, mix it real thoroughly, and then let it simmer for about 15 minutes. And as it cooks, the sauce will start to thicken. So you will notice that after the 15 minutes, the sauce will start to thicken. And that's what you want. And throughout that 15 minutes, stir it every now and then just to make sure to keep all the ingredients combined. Continue to let the sauce simmer. It'll probably look like this, as if it's boiling, but you want to allow it to continue to simmer for the entire 15 minutes. Okay, we're going to give the mixture a quick stir to make sure all the ingredients are combined. Okay, next, let's take the sauce, and what you want to do is you want to pour that mixture into a strainer to retain the juice. And once you pour it in a strainer, grab a spoon or a spatula and press firmly down on the mixture to make sure you retain all the juice from the mixture. Once you strain the mixture, pour about half a cup of that juice that you retain in a separate bowl and set it aside. Take some of the fruit mixture that you set aside and put it back into the sauce mixture. Not all of it. Put maybe about 3 or 4 tablespoons back into the sauce mixture. And what this does is when you coat the chicken with the sauce, you'll have pieces of the fruit on the chicken. So when you bite into the chicken, you're also biting into the fruit, which gives it a very, very powerful taste. The next thing you want to do is you want to combine your cornstarch and water. Mix it well. And once you have a milky substance, what you want to do is you want to pour that mixture into the juice that you retain from the mixture. What this is going to do is it's going to thicken the mixture, and this helps coat the chicken. The next thing you want to do is you want to season your flour. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your seasoned blend that you've already prepared, pour it into the flour, and mix it thoroughly. And the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to batter the flour and to get it prepared to put in the fryer. So the first thing you want to do is you want to remove the chicken from the buttermilk mixture, put it into the flour, Coat it evenly, shake off the excess flour, and then place it on the rack. And you're going to do this for each piece of chicken. Now it's time to fry the chicken. I've already preheated my fryer to 350 degrees. I've already placed about 8 pieces of chicken into the basket. Again, you don't want to overcrowd your basket. And now we're going to go ahead and drop them in the fryer. And we're going to let it cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. All right, guys, as you can see, they've been in here about 6 or 7 minutes now. They're looking real crispy. I'm gonna drop them back down for another minute or so. Like I said, I like mine extra crispy, but everything is turning out great. So um, let's give it about another minute. Okay, so now our first batch of wings are done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer them from the fryer over to this pan. And then once we do that, we're going to load the pan with our second batch. See, look how crispy those wings are. That's how you want them to look, folks. Okay, so you want to do the same thing with the second batch. You don't want to overcrowd your pan. Again, you want to put about 8 to 10 pieces per basket. But it also depends on how big your basket is. This is a normal size basket, so I put about 8 pieces in my basket. So you want to go ahead and drop those, let those cook again for about 8 to 10 minutes. And once those finish, then we'll move on to the next step. All right, everyone, the wings are done. And I want you guys to take a look at them. Those look good. Nice golden brown, crispy. So we're going to move on to the next step. So what you want to do next is you're going to want to transfer the chicken um, from the pan into an empty bowl. Once you place the chicken into the bowl, pour the mixture on top of the chicken, cover it, give it a nice shake. You want to make sure that mixture coats over the chicken evenly. And now what you want to do is you want to transfer that chicken to a nice big plate. Look at that. Can't you see some of the mango and the pineapple that's coating the chicken? Now, some pieces may have a little bit more sauce on it than the others. Well, not more sauce on it, but it may have a little bit more fruit on it than others. But don't worry about that. No big deal. This here is looking good right here. Doesn't that look good, folks? This is what I call my Caribbean passion wings. And what you can do is you could take some of that sauce you put on the side, the sauce that you reserved on the side, and pour it over the top of the chicken. And there you have it. Island style Caribbean passion wings. These look amazing. Look at the color. Notice the pineapple and the mango on the wings. This is how your wings are supposed to look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm fixing to eat these wings. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you try this recipe at home. What I liked about this recipe was the combination of the mango and the pineapple along with the cayenne pepper. The addition of the cayenne pepper adds a little heat to the sauce, so it's not so overpoweringly sweet. So that's what I really liked about this recipe. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends also. If you have any comments, leave them below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so right now. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
Everybody stand up. Introducing the one and only, the most anticipated and highly underrated